Did you see him run? Did you see him run?
Or about there's that famous viral TikTok that always goes around of you. You know, I don't know how old you were, being asked, you know, what superhero would you play when you're older? And you say, oh, maybe Spider-Man, right? And it's like, and I wonder like how much of your acting career do you feel like you've manifested, or there was a vision or a focus, or is it more just like this was naturally what you were into and it grew? Where did that come from?
I do believe in manifesting, actually. I really do. I think what's interesting about my career is this was never something I wanted. I just was a young kid. I loved dancing. My mum would take me to a dance class every Saturday, and I got spotted through that dance class to audition for a show on the West End. I ended up doing the show. I loved it. Billy Elliot. It was a time of my life. It was such a cool experience. Just by complete fluke, an agent came to see the show the night that I was on. She signed me. She sent me to an audition for a film. I was lucky enough to get the part. All of a sudden, I was on set with Ewan McGregor and Naomi Watts, and we made The Impossible. And to be perfectly honest with you, it was just a hobby. It was something that my mum would let me do on the summer holidays. She was very keen that I kept my schooling up. And there sort of came that time in England where you're in between GCSEs and A-levels, and you're trying to figure out. When I was going through that, you could still drop out at A-levels. Obviously, now you have to do A-levels. And I had that moment where I was like, what do I want to do? I could try and stay at school and figure out what I want to do, or this thing that's been a hobby, but my sort of summer holiday activity, which is acting, I could try and do that for a living. And I've been so lucky that I've been, offered jobs and all that sort of stuff. I decided to go with it. I joined the Brit School because, my mum was keen that I didn't go for school for an education, but went to school to expand my social skills and meet kids my own age. All my friends when I was 15 were like 30-year-old people because they're all adults from the business. So I think my mum was keen that I had some friends that are my age who are now my best friends today. So I never really wanted this. I just sort of never stopped doing it. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I love the creativity. I love the building blocks that are required to put a film together. I love the collaboration on set between people from all different walks of life. A film set is a melting pot of all sorts of different people. So I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah. Wow. And I read something that you said you were bullied for like doing ballet.
Yeah, right.
Early, which obviously got you into playing the role of Billy Elliot, because it's ballet and tap, right?
Sure.
It's both. So was that tough at the time, or like were you trying to hide it and then you end up on, you end up at the West End and you're on the main stage and everyone's seeing it, or was it kind of easy to navigate, and how did that go down? Because I feel like as a kid doing ballet and tap must have been a little challenging.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't easy, but it also wasn't tough.
Right.
I went to a rugby school, so you can imagine like the one kid in the school that does ballet. There's going to be comments here and there. It wasn't the easiest thing in the world. There were kids that didn't understand why I was doing it or what I was doing it for. No matter how many times I explained, like I'm the only guy in a class of 30 girls in tights. I was like, guys, this is what you want to be doing. Like rugby is not it. But it was tough. But again, like it goes back to what we were saying about resilience and keeping your head down. And Crowded Room was the hardest job I've ever had for all sorts of different reasons. And there was a point in time where we were talking about, do we shut this down and walk away from it because of how challenging it was? And, I dug my heels in, I put my head down and was like, no, I'm going to finish this. I'm going to see it through. And I think, you learn from past experiences like that. So I really am proud of the way everyone handled the Crowded Room. And I think that stems from my childhood, my dad's experiences and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.